So you clicked on this video because you want to get better at PUBG. If you want in-depth game knowledge, I will link a playlist I made with a bunch of PUBG guys for all aspects of the game. But let's get started. So number one, I've seen some YouTubers discourage against hot dropping or just in general dropping at places with less people. I personally would not recommend that. If you want to get better at PUBG, I strongly recommend you either hot draw or you trail a team where then it's a fair 4v4, or maybe there's two teams there. But in all honesty, I think hot drop is the best way to build your game sense because in hot drops, it's very chaotic. There's a lot going on, and that's where you really get to practice your skill and game knowledge. Because most of the times you'll be looking, there are times where like teams are trading knocks and you have to look through that chat like, is this a fight I want to take? Am I blindly pushing into 8 people or am I pushing into a full squad? It also helps with a lot of info costing. There's going to be a lot of footsteps, grenade shooting. And yeah, because if you don't hard drop and you just play like rotates, in all honesty, most of fights that you're gonna be taking are either in your rotate where you're crossing teams holding houses, or it's gonna be end zones. And end zones are, depending on how many people are left, can be less intense. It's more tuned down. Where it's usually depending how the end zones refresh, but it's usually a team holding a good position and they're gonna be shooting at the teams trying to make it into zone. So it's gonna be a lot of smokes, a lot of util, but I think hot drops is better for training just everything in general. But of course, if you're gonna do it, you gotta know you're gonna die a lot. And that's perfectly fine. So this is a video on how to improve in PUBG. So a key aspect is if you're going for the win, there are times where you shouldn't shoot at people where you wanna stay hidden because PUBG is essentially a game of information. And if you wanna win, there are times where you don't want to let people know that you're there. But this is not how to win. This is how to get better. So I would recommend just if you see a person, regardless of how far, just shoot at them because shooting at far targets can help you with a lot of things like your tracking, like trying to get used to the bullet drop or testing out different snipers or DMRs. And another thing is, some things that people don't really realize is how important your cursor placement is in PUBG, right? Because essentially at this point on in the game, everyone is really good. So like most people have pretty good aim. So if you want to win gunfights or win duels, you have to know or predict generally where they're gonna be. Let's say you're in Takado, there's a lot of windows. So if you know there's someone in this building, you usually want to aim your cursor close to the window. So if they peek out and shoot you, you can return fire instantly because the game has a really high, really fast time to kill. A lot of people only use the meta guns or the best guns. I would not recommend that. I would just recommend you use basically all the guns, try them all out because it really helps you with, recoil control on different levels of recoil. And yeah, and you also want to carry a lot of utility because in end zones where you don't have cover because you don't know how to refresh, smokes are basically your savior. And util was also really good because it allows for a lot of counterplay that you usually wouldn't get with just normal guns. And some good practices you always want to ping. You always want to ping where you're shooting. If you see people, you want to ping it. If you don't feel like turning your mic, just ping. If you do feel like turning your mic, communicate it out. And you always really want to, if you want to get better, you want to map out your rotates. Because if you don't and blindly try to go into zone, there is probably gonna be 2, 3 teams holding you. And that's just not gonna be good. So you want to try your best to get in zone relatively safely because A lot of people don't know this, but shooting cars of four people on it and rotates when there's four people holding is actually really easy. It's what they call a clown car. So, um, lastly, I would recommend if you really enjoy this game to watch some of the pro play. Honestly, I think it's the best way to um get better, to mimic, to see what they're doing, because what pros doing are usually relatively good. You can see how they DMR snipe, how they wiggle, how they crouch, how they rotate, how they throw util, and how they play difficult zones, because you gotta know in PUBG, as the quality of your games improve, like in rank, in small zones, there is gonna be so many people alive. And it's gonna be complete chaos. So the best way is to already look at these situations and find out ways that you can play them. That makes a lot of the underrated util, like golden shields. You don't see it really in casual, but in pro play, it is used a lot because it lets you play a position normally you wouldn't be able to play without getting absolutely obliterated with bullets. So yeah, I mean, the last one is obviously you just want to play the game a lot. So game sense is something that is built the more you play. I mean, yeah. Like there's so many good players out there. Sometimes you're gonna have bad teammates, sometimes you're gonna have good teammates. So if you wanna get good, the best advice I can is try to hard up a lot, improve your own skills. So regardless of the outcome, there may be a way out because PUBG as a game, it's a game where you can easily 1v4 because how fast the time to kill is. And all the util and options you can have. There's no set method, I don't think, because it's such an open world game and there's so much RNG and skill based that there's so many possibilities on how to improve. Because I guess it's a popular topic, and I'm gonna be releasing this video at the end of Oh My Gods. So that I made. So yeah, thanks for watching and see ya.